Hello folks, welcome back. Delboy's Garage now, episode 28 of Project Rat Trailer. What a response, amazing. I can't believe it. This really is taking off. Every time I do a video I get about 10 more comments on the last one, and I really appreciate it. I really do. It means a great deal. The support, the comments on Penny, camera girl. She's very shy, she's very embarrassed. It only took me a year to get a shout out high, but we did it at last, so moving forward. The trailer. Just want a couple of comments very quickly. I'm going to do some painting today. A couple of people made comments and I deleted them. A couple of derogatory comments. You always get a bit of chaff in with the wheat. So these comments that, you know, you're not doing this properly, you're not doing that properly. Rat biking, rat and survival biking is fun. It really is. It's fun because you can express yourself in whatever way you like. Stuff doesn't have to be nice. It doesn't have to have a nice finish. In fact, it mustn't have a nice finish. It must be rat and survival. That's what it's meant to be. But I think it's important to make a point. You've seen the trouble and time I've taken to make this trailer a strong, usable, a good integrity piece of kit. You know, something that's going to last, as my friend Dan said, many generations, and I hope it will. That's the idea. When you ride a rat and survival bike, you will get judged. Your bike will get judged all the time. People judge a book by its cover. Sadly, they just do. And when you ride a bike that's matte black, scruffy, covered in road salt and crap, people are obviously going to judge it to be a dangerous wreck. Another friend of mine, Rob in Manchester, New Hampshire, he's building a rat rod called Evelyn, which is awesome. He's taken many years over it, and I've watched the build from an early stage on, and you can look at a rat rod, and as Rob said, many people can build a rat rod and go out and kill themselves in it. But to build one of integrity and strength and quality and still catch the look and still catch the image of the rat rod, the rat bike, that's what takes time and difficulty. You need to put, I don't think, as much time in to making something that's going to be a rat. You need to put more time in, because when it gets judged, possibly by a roadside inspector, an officer of the law, or the VOSA inspectorate we have here, whatever it might be, they need to take one look at it and say, that is actually pretty cool. When this trailer, I'm going to get stopped with this trailer. Motorbikes don't tow trailers. Great big gold wings, yes, they tow fancy trailers around Europe, but rat bikes towing trailers, it's just asking for it. I'm going to get stopped by the police, and they will look at it. They will scrutinise it, and when they see it, I want that reaction. That's quite cool actually, yeah. Nice strong piece of kit. When they get the tape measure out, it will conform. When they check the lights, they will work. Everything will be correct. And then I can give them the finger and say, thank you very much for wasting my time. And thanks for judging me. And I get the last laugh. So there we are. So that's really where I'm going with this. I want this trailer to be of some quality. I want it to be a stand-up piece of kit and to work. There's no use building something like this, driving it down the road, it detaches itself from the bike and then trips up a following coach. That's really uncool. And when they look at your bike, matte black, and they look at your trailer, they're going to say, well, what are you riding this wreck for? Because it's behaved and performed like a wreck. You just reiterate their judgment, and I don't want that happening. I want to be judged the other way for actually being able to build things that are of some standard. And when I start the bike build, which will be over the winter and into next year, it will be a long build because I just haven't got the money to buy parts and do it straight away. I want that to be something of quality as well, and I want to try and put that together using some of the things I've learned through this. The notching of tubing is very important because I want to make modifications to the frame, if not make the frame. So one way or the other, waffling on now, I'm going to get some painting done today. Those are the points I wanted to make. Videos as well. I know that you appreciate these videos. You say so in the comments, so I back at you. I appreciate the sentiment. I appreciate the things you say. They really mean a great deal to us, and they spur me on. They inspire me to do more. If I only got 3 or 4 views and a couple of comments, I probably wouldn't bother. I'd just get on with my bike and do it myself. But I put it out there in the world. I waffle on like an idiot like now because I get the feedback, and I appreciate that. There are people out there far bigger than me on the internet, and people that inspire me. My friend Dan Bethel, Rob in Manchester, New Hampshire, a few other people that have around the world that do great builds, and I watch them and I learn from them and I pass it on. Also my good friend Rick Fix. Rick's got a certain way, like I have. He'll take a small piece of metal and a chisel and a sandbag, and he'll make a panel you can't buy anywhere. He'll make a piece of A-pillar that's got 4 or 5 different folds, weld it in, and it fits, and it's done, and it's great. That kind of thing, you couldn't get professional body shops to do that because they just wouldn't bother the time, even if they knew how to do it. So it's us blokes in garages, fiddling, fettling, messing about. We're the real people. So stick around, stay tuned. Let's do some painting. Right, this is the old blackboard paint, and as you can see there, it's kind of the consistency of mayonnaise. Show you what I mean. You kind of, this is how you don't paint it on like this. It kind of sets like this. It's a weird chemical mix, it really is. I don't know what they put in it, but as you saw yesterday, beating it with a screwdriver bigger than that, it's just tough, seriously tough, and it doesn't go anywhere. Kind of resilient, and it acts as a resin. So what I'm going to do with this, because it needs to soak in to the scrim, I said yesterday this stuff's cotton and it soaks in like cotton would, and I've got 2 layers of it on. I've got, what is that, it's a litre in it, 750, so that's 3/4 of a litre there. There's about, I reckon, 40% of that left. It's about there. So I'm going to thin this down just using tap water because it's waterborne, and get it nice and thin. If I paint it on like this, it's just going to sit on the surface and it's not going to do anything. It's not going to sink in properly. So I'm going to thin this down with some tap water, probably try and fill it up. So I've got 3/4 of a litre, and that will get me the first full coat around the outside of the trailer. So let's get some water in it. And we'll over mix it and turn it into a wash. I just want it to be thin. Just add a little bit at a time and stir carefully. I don't think I'll be able to fill it up with water. I think it will just get too runny. We'll get as much as we can. Alright, so that's about right now. You can do what you like. Like I said, I'm not trying to make this a how-to, but I think that's about the right consistency. That's roughly where you might spray it. I guess you could go for that on the first can if you really want a guide. I just kind of achieved this knowledge, or done this in the past, and it works through experience really. Bit too thick, bit too thin. If it's too runny, it's a wash, and that's no good. But that's roughly at the consistency you might spray it, perhaps a little bit thicker than spraying, I don't know. I'm not a sprayer. But that stuff works. That's going to go on now, and there's a pint there. It's a 750ml can, and we're roughly 2/3 full. So that's a pint. That gives me the ability to give some idea of how much we eventually use. I'm going to keep a check of it and see what it ends up when we're finished. I reckon we're going to use probably 3 times that to coat this stuff up. So let's get stuck in. As you can see, it does just drinks it, literally. I may not even get a full coat all around this trailer with this pint, but tomorrow meeting a few friends at the cafe, and my favourite surplus store is around the corner, and they are open on a Sunday, and we will be getting some more. I'll nip around there and buy probably if I got a nice big half-gallon tin, that would be perfect. If not, I may go to Zanet and order it. And just while I'm doing this, I want to put a word out about a young lady friend of mine. She's a rat bike owner. She goes by the tube name of Ratqueen bikes. I want you to check her out. Now, I don't watch too many builds and videos because I'm busy doing this, and I'm busy obviously comments and everything else. But most of what I watch, I would say 9/10 of what I watch is car related, because that's just the way it's ended up. there aren't many bike builds on the tube, there really aren't. There aren't many people who get involved in bikes on the tube, and most of the people that I subscribe to and vice versa, it's all about rat rods and cars and hot rods, which is cool. I love hot rods. So a little while ago I found a channel, a young lady in Scotland up in the wilds who's got not one but 2 rat bikes. In fact, she started out with one, which she's named the pair of them, and you'll have to go on the channel to find out that. And I want you to go on there, I want you to check her out. Her tube name is Ratqueen Bikes. She's got an amazing accent, she sounds fantastic, she's lovely to listen to. She's quite talented, she knows about the rat bike stuff, she's fundamentally decorates and fabricates. She's made a great cage on one of them. She's got a GSXR Suzuki, which she's on the left hand side, she's put a cage on, like a wire cage mesh that she's made. She's got an amazing trick that she puts what can be only described as gaffer tape, I think, many layers of gaffer tape on an item of the bike, and then sets fire to it with a blow lamp, which is fantastic. I think she built the seat and she covered it in gaffer tape and then put it on the fire. So that's why it just stunned me. I was amazed. I love watching the videos that Ratqueen does, and also she's done some riding videos, and her rat bikes are very different to mine, which is part of the whole rat bike thing. They are all different. Every rat bike you see is a different interpretation of the owner's sentiment and what they think. And hers has got horns and gothic things and road signs coupled into it, and it's fantastic. I love it. And like any rat bike, when you first see it, you can spend 10 minutes looking around it, just observing all the things that are on it. So for all those who watch my stuff, I see other people who put as much effort and time and consideration into their bikes, and they get hardly any hits. So I want you to have a look at it. Ratqueen Bikes, look it up, I'll put a link here. I want you to go and check her out, she's fantastic. And while you're watching, hiya Ratqueen, hope everything's going alright, darling. It does get easier as you layer it up. The next coat spreads further. It's just this first coat that it just breathes it in almost. It just doesn't go anywhere. Another little thing as well is scraping it down in here, just in case any little areas that grip fill didn't seal, being thick. This stuff's thin, so it will run down and then set. So this will absolutely guarantee that it's waterproof. Stretching this last little, about an inch in the bottom of the tin now. That's all. And that was that. But fortunately, I managed to finish a whole layer. So that's one coat, kind of stippled in, which pokes it, kind of rams it inside the little holes and dabs it on the bottom. And that's it. It's starting to look already, you can see the look is there. It's going to be exactly the same when it's done. But that's sucked in a pint, an absolute full pint of paint, just on one coat. But that's the big coat, that's the I don't know what you might call the money coat. That's the one that just breathes the paint in. And from now on, it'll get easier. Now, as I said earlier, I am going to my favourite cafe tomorrow to meet a few mates and have breakfast. And there is a surplus store that sells this stuff, or something like it. It doesn't really matter because matte black's matte black. Oops. So I'll get perhaps 2 more, I reckon. Maybe I'll get 2 full litres instead. I reckon that'll take 2 more litres, 4 more pints. Because the bike's actually quite a lot. I had to do both sides of the bodywork, tank, all of it. This is about the same, I reckon. But I still want to do the inside. I'm going to get the pliers and pick out all these big bits of rubber that got through because I didn't sieve it because I'm a muppet. And then when that's smooth, that'll get a matte black coat. Because although that's great and it's completely dry, and even the shiny bits are not sticky, everything is now completely cured. I just want a matte black finish. Also, it will smooth it out because as much as it's rubbery, it's actually quite rough. Thinking sort of nylon camping gear bags and stuff, just rubbing against it, it will smooth it out. Nice thick coat of black wool paint. So I'll probably get a couple 3 litres of that tomorrow. And there we are, first coat of paint. Scrimmage. It continues. So there we go, part 28 all done. Just gonna let that dry now. It's going to take about probably 2 days to dry. There's a lot of paint in there and that's soaked in. It's like squeegee, like a sponge now. That's going to take quite a long time just to evaporate away the water and make it completely dry. Then I can start getting the next coats in. So there you go, that's it for episode 28. Appreciate the comments, thanks for watching, ride safe as ever, and I will see you next time.